They went, no, Ronnie said you can't use the table. So I said, you're f***ing joking, aren't you? Always on Instagram now, but I had to come off of Twitter because it's costing me too much money. 15 grand, that's embarrassing.
I know.
Top 32 in the world at your sport.
Hi guys, for today's Q&A, I've come to Essex to play with my good friend and top 32 player, Indian Open champion, Matthew Selt. There's a couple of frames and a chat. Who's going to break?
I'll break.
You didn't have to think about that too much, did you?
It's the strongest point of my game.
You are renowned as, well, I think you're one of the best safety players in the game. Would you agree?
It's not very often I do agree with you, but yeah, I think that's pretty much what my game has been based on for the last few years. You know, I enjoy the tactical side of it. I wish I could break build as well as I am, as good as I am tactically. So,
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Thanks.
This is a lovely room. How long have you been here?
I've been here since 2018. Since I moved back from the Midlands. I was playing in a club in Whittam. They were lucky enough to put me up there, and then my sister moved into this building and she had this room that she was going to use for a gym. And one day I just commandeered it for a snooker room. So
it's nice, isn't it? But so do you prefer in a room to a club?
I do, yeah. Too much distraction for me. I'm very easily distracted. So
see, I was different because when I played in the club, I liked the atmosphere.
Okay.
And when at the end of my career, when I went to practice at home, although at that stage of my career I quite liked the quiet, but it's just, I don't know, it's.
You know, it could be one of the reasons why I've struggled on table one, really, you know, getting used to that kind of environment.
This is a test.
You've got it in you.
Straight mid-distance. Keep the head still. This used to be my shot.
Show us something special.
Okay. Oh my God. So that will get edited out. Don't worry about that.
I think you should. I think you should definitely leave that in.
So, how many hours are you playing a day?
At this precise moment in time.
You're obviously no good at playing when people are talking to you.
No, useless. Absolutely useless. I'm probably doing 3 or 4 hours a day.
And I mean, obviously you got 2 very young children. One 10 weeks.
10 weeks old, yeah.
So how are you doing the practice?
Yeah, just pretty much trying to get in whenever I can, really. You know, it's nice having this facility because I can get in any time of the day. It's 24 hours, so that's really good. But yeah, having 2 kids is, you know, it certainly takes the hours away. You've got to practice properly when you're in it, that's for sure. Oh.
Don't go in there.
Foul. Oh, blessed. It's like being back in the 90s.
So how old's Parker now?
Parker is 4.5.
And does he watch you on TV now? Like
he watches me for the very short time that I'm on there. He actually come to the shootout last year in Leicester, and he loved it. He absolutely loved watching it.
Has he? Oh, well, he won't be playing snooker, will he?
Not playing, but he likes to come in and just throw the balls across the table and butcher the cloth.
Do you like how I finished on absolutely nothing there?
Well, yeah, this is what you do.
I mean, that's just. This needs a bit of finesse.
Yep.
Oh, that's lovely. You might have got another shot here, by the way.
He hasn't made a break like this all season. Tell you what, isn't it nice though, like coming in and playing on like pretty nice conditions?
It's lovely because obviously when I play my matches, because I'm not practicing enough, the conditions are so good. And I'm getting caught out.
Yeah, of course, it's just so slippery.
And it's a safety as much as anything. I mean, I never was known for my safety play, but... Oh, that's such a... See, that's the cloth.
It just zipped.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was Cannon in the pink there. I do love an excuse as well, to be fair. I was never any good at doubles.
Oh. You should have hit that a bit harder. Oh, you're not going to make me get the long stuff out of you.
Well, you were quite a late starter, weren't you?
Snooker, started playing when I was 12. You don't want me to get the extension out.
But you didn't really sort of get on the scene until...
No, I was joking.
What age did you turn pro?
I was one of the youngest ever to turn pro.
Were you really?
Yeah, just before my 17th birthday. 2002.
All right. So you started at 12. So that's the same as me.
You started at 12?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Two weeks before my 13th birthday.
I actually really didn't know that. And you won the world title that quick?
Turned pro at 16, world champion, world number 1 at 21. Mind you, as you always tell me, no one could play in back in those days.
Listen, Listen, I'm just, don't shoot the messenger, them words come from the captain.
We had so many arguments, honestly. Like when I say what I've won and everything, he says, well, this is the players couldn't make 20 when you were pro.
It's, you set the record and set the bar for everybody, so we're just grateful that you were doing what you were doing. But I can't believe you won the world title that soon. Would you?
21. Still the youngest. One record I've got left.
Yeah.
I'm hanging on to.
Nice of the Rocket to leave you on.
So, well, talking to Ronnie, did you play with him then growing up? The likes of Ronnie, Mark King, Ali Carter, there were a few players in Essex, weren't there?
Yeah, I first started playing with Kingy. He was the first real professional that I started playing with when I was based at Romford.
At the match room?
Yeah, that club. I was playing the Romford Snooker Club. The match room had actually gone.
Oh, so Steve wouldn't still be there, would he?
No. It was like a year and a half after it had shut. But the snooker club was still there. And I used to go up there as a whippersnapper.
Right.
Just playing the snooker club every day. That was where I met Robbo, and then just started playing like properly as a junior, really.
Yeah. Oh, 'cause you were really good friends with Robbo, weren't you? This is Steve Davis's old driver. He used to drive Steve Davis around in a limo. Yeah,
he was a lovely guy. He drove me around for all my junior tournaments and stuff. Yeah, drove me around for a few years. We bought him a car, and that was it. And some of the stories he used to tell me about Davis and all the older boys was.
We better not get into those. They're libelous.
Very much so. That's where I got my mischievous side from. But yeah, so I went from there. I was playing with Kingy until I was, I don't know, I would have been 18, and then I moved to the Grove.
Right. Okay.
Django was lucky enough to let me play in there, and then the Rocket appeared on the scene in the club. He stole where my table was.
Did he?
So when I was in the Grove, I said to Django, "Can I put my table here?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, no one can play there." So I was like, "All right, cool." And then Ronnie came in about 2 years later, and he was like, "Oh, I want to put my table where yours is down the back."
Right.
I was like, "That's all right. Have a word with Django then, and I'll put mine at the front where I've always wanted." He went, "Yeah." So he did that, and started doing that. He went to me, "Why don't you sell your table?" He's gone to Neil Robertson. "Get your money back for the table, and then we can just use my table." I was like, right. This is like the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Ronnie's in my club. Get my money back for the table and just use his table, which was brand new.
Yeah.
So we did that. I sold my table to Neil, which is the table that's behind us now in Cambridge.
Yeah,
the middle one it is on about. About a month in, I went in to use the table, and they went, "No, Ronnie said you can't use the table." I said, "You f***ing joking, aren't you?" So he's come in and nicked me spot. I've sold me table. I've got no table to play on.
Yeah, that's flair.
That was when I was only a kid as well at the time.
How old would Ronnie be?
I don't know. It was 2007, so you work it out.
Yeah.
God knows how old he was, but it was it was a little bit of a, I don't know. Well, you can imagine I'd know it at practice, which was good. It was funny. Looking back now, when you're growing up a bit, it's funny.
So would you say like you've never got on with him then?
Well, no, it's weird because we used to practice regular after that.
Right.
At Django's, and then he's been here a couple of times. So I think he's been here once.
Right.
And I mean, he's listen. You want to talk about him as a snooker player. For me, he's the best player that's ever played the game. So, I won't. Listen, you're a close fourth.
Who you would say your mates on tour then? Because you spent a lot of time with Neil, didn't you?
Yeah, I lived with Neil.
Tell me you used to drive him around.
I did, yeah. I'm amazed he didn't say it in his last video when he moved over from. I don't think he'll appreciate his video because some of the stuff that he told in that video was fibs, lies, and he is a compulsive liar. But he's when he moved over, he obviously couldn't drive, and he was with some of the other Australian boys.
Yeah.
I drove them all about.
How could you drive him around if you what was?
So I was going to Cambridge. I was going to Cambridge every day and staying with him and pretty much living in the house in the car park for 18 months, I suppose. And then when the boys went back to Australia, because they weren't, they fell off the tour. It was just me and him. We went round for nearly 2 years.
Right.
Went everywhere with him. I love his company. He's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Some player as well. So yeah, so good, really well. I'm not actually that close with Neil anymore. We still speak and stuff, but you grow apart. But got quite a few different groups of people of friends.
Yeah.
I'm friends with people that some don't like each other.
Right.
But I'm friendly with quite a few actually.
Because I mean, I have to say, you do fall out with people, don't
Absolutely.
you?
Well, no, I wouldn't say I fall out. Who? Go on, give me an example.
Well, fallout is maybe too strong, but you do because what I think is you're too clever for most snooker. Most snooker players just they can't compete with you
Okay.
on the verbal.
Okay.
So I think that's why that. Yeah, I mean, your fallout is probably too much, but
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm definitely have an acquired taste, but
I mean, social media you're not too you on and off social media, aren't you?
Well, I'm always on Instagram now, but I had to come off of Twitter because it was costing me too much money.
Here, I'm going to show you something here.
Come on.
Bit of naughty snooker.
What a clearance this is, by the way. Yeah, look at this, too heavy.
Ah.
You've been going to the gym?
I thought the table was slower than what it was. Very disappointed with that, actually.
But I tell you what, one of the biggest friendships that I've got on tour, and I don't want to blow smoke out your arse, but my friendship with you is one that I'm very grateful for. And if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't have happened.
Oh, I mean, how we met was quite good, wasn't it?
That's a brilliant story. Yeah?
So we were there was a tournament in Shanghai, and I was flying out 2 or 3 days.
Wednesday.
Yeah, early for the tournament. I had a couple of things to do, but anyway. So World Snooker, they booked the seats, didn't they? So I had to go to World Snooker, and they put me in this seat in the plane. Me being me, I didn't want to sit next to anyone for like a 10-hour flight. And they put me next to, said you're sitting next to Matt Selt. I didn't even know him. I said no. So went back on, moved my seat away, and then we're on the plane, and I went down. He was sat there in a middle seat with his laptop watching Magnum PI.
But I've got to say this. Obviously, when I got the itinerary as well, and I looked in. I got the itinerary, and then I checked in. I didn't think anyone was on the flight. It says, "Oh, you're sitting next to Stephen." I was like, "No, this ain't going to be for me. He's not going to want to put up with any of the nonsense I come out with."
But anyway, I went up, said hello and stuff, and then we had a practice. Went out for dinner in Shanghai, and.
Well, that was the thing that I appreciated the most. I, being in China on my own for the first time, the fact that you and listen, maybe I've got this wrong, so I need you to, help me if though. You rang my room, didn't you?
Think so.
Yeah, I think you rang my room, and I answered the phone. He said, "Who's that?" You went like, "Stephen." And I was like, "Who?" You went, "Stephen Hendry." I was like, "All right." He said, "Do you want to come over for a practice?" So I was like, "Yeah." So went over, practiced.
Yeah.
Then went back to the room, and then the phone rang again, and he was like, "Oh, it's me. Do you want to go for dinner?" And I thought it's such a really nice thing for you to do, considering how miserable and unapproachable you are. I felt like you went out of your way to make sure I was okay. Yeah. Maybe that wasn't the case, but it was.
No, absolutely. I mean, I knew you were on your own and stuff, so yeah.
It was a lovely thing to do, actually, and sorry to go a bit silly, but it was And when I told people, they were like, "Wow, he's not normally like that." It's like, yeah, it's me, innit? I'm an attraction.
I went for dinner and it was £70 for lamb chops.
Yeah, tell them what I had for starters.
What did you have for starters? Chips. Chips for a starter.
You took me to this restaurant I've never eaten any cuisine. Right with that shop?
Yeah, it needs a new clothes.
And then chips for a starter.
Right. Set them up. You're quite outspoken about the game, aren't you? You don't think the game's in a good state at the minute, do you?
I mean, I'm quite outspoken about many things.
It's about the budget. What is it, Ron? The tournament schedule? I mean,
no, I think the thing that's wrong is, and like you say, I'm not scared of speaking about what I feel myself.
Yeah.
I think that obviously COVID has affected the world as a whole, which it clearly has. Lots of people have lost their jobs and stuff like that, which is very unfortunate. And although the calendar looks busy and we look like we're doing a lot, we have also. If you're not in the top 8, top 16, you're in a bit of trouble, really. And the thing that frustrates me the most is that, we were so reliant on China as a country and an area to have half the tour. Somebody's not done a great job at having a backup plan. You're looking at nearly 4 years since we've been to China now.
So you're ranked, you're about 20 odd in the world, aren't you? So for a top 32 player, if you don't hit a ball, what are you guaranteed for the season?
No, it was 15 grand. 10 from the world, 5 from the UK.
So it's not a lot, is it?
No, it's 15 grand. That's embarrassing.
I know.
Top 32 in the world at your sport.
I mean, sport is tough.
Of course.
At level. Obviously you've got the idea that you you need to get up there to earn or whatever. But to someone who's like 20 in the world, that 15 grand is like, I think a lot of people would be surprised at that.
It's, you know, my wife's extremely surprised. You know,
and especially with your tastes as well.
Listen, you put 20 tournaments on a year, you win 20 grand in a year, it's your own fault. But, you know, you can't... Telling people that you've got the chance to win money is...
Yeah.
I mean, I find it quite embarrassing. I find it disrespectful. You know,
Hello?
It's a shame, really, because I love the sport.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the game. I'll never ever stop loving the game. That's why I still play it. But when you look at the scheduling of the tour, and you've got to like take this week, for instance, we've got the English Open. My match has been held over, so brilliant. I've got to go there. But you look at the previous tournaments. You've got to prepare for 2 weeks for a qualifier, then you play them round 2, 6 or 7 weeks later. I think it's disgusting.
Well, I mean, only my situation is nothing like someone who's absolutely. It's their career, but even me, the fact of it's not appealing to me to like the way the qualifiers. I mean, I don't understand why World Snooker haven't built a purpose-built venue to hold all the qualifiers, and then just have because they're all over the country into random leisure centres, and it's just
weird,
and it doesn't motivate you. I mean, even the players that I've played against, the players I see around the venues. It's quite
demoralising.
It's quite a sad atmosphere.
Of course
actually.
It is. Yeah, you know, you go into some places and it's just like I can't.
Because obviously the public they'll see the Masters, 2,000 people, the Crucible, 17 days packed every time, but they don't see the other side of it.
All they're seeing the exhibition side of snooker. You know, the top players playing in the classy events. Like we played at York the other day, and it was superb. The setup was great, but the tour as a whole is.
Is that in if I hit that straight? I'm clueless at doubles.
Yeah. If you hit it dead straight, it could be. No. You're not hitting that straight. You're going to hit it there. You're going to miss it high.
You were right.
I know.
Got away with it though.
You're amazed I've only won 14 grand this season, aren't you? No, listen, the game is amazing. Oh, the tour is not. Yeah.
So I have to ask you, obviously, Indian Open champion. When 2019? 19. What was that like to win?
It was funny, and it was funny because of something that you told me previous. I remember you saying to me, if you ever do win a tournament, you will experience it and you will go, is that it?
Well, it can be an anticlimax. Some people go a bit mad. Some people are really emotional and cry and whatever. It's like unbelievable. But you were quite like level-headed. But I remember you texting me saying, "I felt nothing."
I felt nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Even like 2 months later, looking back.
No. I look back now, and I'm like, you know, I really enjoyed that. I want to do it again. That would be nice if I do that again. See if I experience something different. But I remember winning, and then I think about 2 hours later, I was getting in a taxi at 1 and 2 in the morning to get on a plane. And I don't know, I just felt like it was nice to play a tournament and not lose.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it was an anti-climax. One of the biggest things I've got from that tournament was when it finished. Peter Ebdon was there, he stayed and watched the final. Right. And he come straight over to me and shook my hand and was like, well done, I'm so happy for you, etc., etc. And that was a nice touch. But yeah, looking back, it was a nice achievement. I'd like to think that there might be some more days like that around the corner.
Do you set goals at the start of a season?
I don't know. I'll write some down, but I don't really keep looking at them and stuff.
Like even to make, I don't know, random 4 quarterfinals or 2 set or a final or win. Or like.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I set myself a goal of trying to win a tournament every year, and as it happens.
Obviously, final the Turkish.
Yeah,
last
as it happens. If I look back on the last few seasons, I've not been a million miles away. Like I lost to Trump in the Gibraltar semis. I listened to Neil the other day talk about his defining matches that he thought were world finals in the last 16 and last 32. I lost to Trump in the semis of that, and that was to play Lazowski or Carrington, which I felt like I would have won because I played well all week. Like you say, final of the Turkish, I lost to Judd, so I've been quite close. Lucky. Do
you think consistency, because you seem to have a couple of tournaments a season where you play really well, and then I don't see you for the rest of the season?
It's funny because my strength in the early years of being on the tour was I used to win so many first and second round matches and then not be able to beat the top players.
Oh, that's on a string. This is on a string.
That was beautiful.
Oh, well, not quite, because I can't play for the black again.
But yeah, you are right. I've lost a lot of first round matches in the last 18 months. I think I must have lost 7 first round matches in the last 18 months out of, I don't know, half the tournaments, which is obviously not a good record, but one of the cut-off points last year I played Trump, Selby and Hawkins as my first round.
Yeah, it's not. Wait, that can't happen now, can it? The way they, as if they changed.
No, but if you're in the top 32, you can't play someone inside the top 32. And I finished 33rd for one cut-off point where there was 3 random draws in a row.
Yeah. And
I drew them 3. I drew seed number 1, and seed number 5.
Right.
So you do the maths. It's not going to end well. How are you finding the tour?
Listen, I don't prepare, so I can't expect to do anything. To be fair, I mean, until I start. I mean, we love golf, don't we? So I mean, golf is a massive distraction. So, but yeah, unless I take it seriously, even playing like 2 hours a day, 1 hour a day for a whole month, that would be something. But I can't expect to just turn up. I mean, people say the standards are. I mean, the players are good. The safety's improved, I think, and the score's improved. But I watch the players play, and I think,
there's something missing still.
If I put somewhere I could get results, I'm not saying I could win, but that's not why I came back. I mean, people seem to think it's a comeback. It's not. It's just a wild card to play events.
Yeah.
It's not a comeback. Yeah. So, but I mean, the tables are beautiful. But I came back to get the experience of playing in venues again with crowds, not to go to Wigan and play in a leisure centre.
You don't like going Wigan?
No disrespect to Wigan, but that doesn't really.
Well, I was going to say, I went to somewhere last year, and I won't name it because I won't be able to afford to pay the fine. But I remember leaving there, and I was like, I actually can't believe that people have to live here. And I was like, this is unbelievable. And yet they're taking the tour.
What was that, Knightsbridge?
It was Sunningdale. I mean, I know what's wrong with the game. But
Look at that. I mean, that's just pure, isn't it?
I'll get over it. I don't think I can say what's wrong with the game.
Why?
In case it doesn't get edited out.
I promise, it'll be in, unless, well, might need to get the lawyers, I suppose. I mean, do you think the people in charge?
I just think that kick. I just think you've got the wrong people in the wrong jobs.
Right.
Doing the wrong things. That's,
Will you be, I mean, I think next year probably China will open up again. Are you looking forward to going back there?
I would love to go back there. It's been a long time since we were there, but I spoke to somebody yesterday, that's going to go uphill, I think, that said China's another 2 years away now.
Really?
This was yesterday, yeah. Obviously.
I heard on the radio today that the quarantine's down to just 3 days in a hotel now.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, it begs the question: why are we the players why are we not giving information on a weekly, monthly basis of when they're trying to get us back out there? Because China's so prominent, and it's over half the tours there now.
So what if you say your guarantee's 15? Do you? Because you got a little watch business as well, haven't you? Do you still do that, or I mean, if that's your guarantee, you've got to have something else, haven't you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you've got to do something else. I'm lucky enough that if I ever needed a job, I could just go upstairs here and work with my sister.
Right.
It's not what I want to do. I want to keep playing snooker.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that kind of income, I think it's all relative to what people are earning and what people's outgoings are. There's people that are higher than me that should think about getting other alternative incomes.
Yeah.
And there's definitely people that are lower that.
What's the top 16 guaranteed then? If you're guaranteed 15 in the top 20, what are they? I
imagine they're guaranteed 15 the UK, 20 World, 15 Masters, 50.
I suppose if they're in the Champion of Champions.
Yeah,
so
65.
Sort of stuff. Right. Okay. So it's quite a big jump, isn't it? In terms of guarantee, without.
It is when you can be £1 behind the guy ranked 16. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The difference is difference in prize money. But then if you get on a roll, look at Mark Allen. He's one of the best players well, he's probably the best player in the game at the minute. But if you get on a roll like him, he's a prolific winner anyway. He's nicked 400 grand the last few weeks, so the opportunities are there. And it's just they've made it. The people in charge have made it so much harder for people outside the top 16 because top 16 are ranked. They're seeded 2 rounds ahead of 17 in the 2 biggest events. So.
See, I haven't been at the top, obviously. I think there should be some sort of seeding for the top players. I do, but I don't know how you can possibly work it.
And let me ask you this: what do you?
Because I think you've earned it. If you get to the top, I think you've earned it.
Yeah. How far up are you talking?
What do you mean?
I want your opinion on what you think a top player is. Is a top player someone that's never won anything?
No, it goes in rankings.
So I'm asking you.
Yeah.
So what ranking?
16.
6. So why have you picked the number 16?
It's the top 16, I think.
Yeah. Why? Where's the number 16 come from?
I think traditionally, obviously, the Masters has been the top 16 players in the world.
So do you think?
I think like it or leave it. I think the public want to watch the top players. Snooker's not like golf, where a tournament will go ahead even if the top players don't play. You know, it'll still be massive prize money. People will still go and watch it.
I totally agree that people only want to watch certain people, and I get that. But where does the number 16 come from? Just from tradition for you?
Yeah, that's just the way.
So do you think someone that's been either burst on the scene or has done nothing ever wins 6 matches in a tournament and is in the top 16 for 2 years?
Well, I mean, the rankings are different, aren't they now? The rankings are quite volatile now. The way they change. Well, just the system, innit? When I was there, it was a 2-year system.
Yeah, and it was points. So now it's prize money. So someone can get to the final of the world, which is an unbelievable achievement. Yeah. And be ranked at the top of the game.
So then there's the opportunity, isn't it? I mean, for people to actually do something.
Yeah, totally agree. That is the carrot that they dangle. Yeah. But we all know how hard it is to get there.
But one thing I do agree. Sport shouldn't be easy. People shouldn't just be
given stuff,
given a living just because they turn a professional snooker player. There's got to be some incentive to be successful. But flair. Well done. That's it.
Well played. Good luck in the next round.
I thought I was quite good there, apart from the doubling. Two doubles missed by a mile. That was not.
Did I just clear up from that double you missed?
Yeah, you did. You did, yeah.
Effortless.
All right. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much to Matt Selt for having us here today. Please, if you enjoyed that, like and subscribe. And in the comments, let me know what players you fancy that you want me to do next. Cheers, guys. See you soon.